Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. Better see with the negativity.
Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to another edition of the Sports Report Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Mr. William D. Morgan, and I have a cast of thousands with me tonight. As you can see, I am broadcasting live from the X-Men's Danger Room. So, yeah, I'm all over the place on this show, but it's all good. Let's go ahead and get everybody introduced. We can talk about our subjects. I know we got two Kansas City Chiefs fans in the building. I know they got something to say. Let's go ahead. Oh, and Erica may be running through too. All right, let's go ahead and get this thing done. First, let me bring in the man with the plan, the man who forgot more baseball than I will ever know. Bring my man 7. What's up?
What's up, man? I just want you to know that I think the Dodgers and Shohei Ohtani are a bunch of bitches.
You know what? I agree.
Fuck them.
Fuck them. Fuck them. I agree.
Fuck them.
Because like I said in the chat, you can't tell me that is not before last season. You cannot tell me that was not a World Series roster.
It was.
I don't understand.
We're going to talk about we get into the stretch, man, but this is some bullshit.
It's bullshit. It's bullshit. And it don't do baseball no good. That's just my opinion. Let me go ahead and move on over to my man. He is here to talk about LeBron's 5th ring. Let me bring my man in, Dan the Dick. What's up, man?
5 for 11, baby. 5 for 11. It's cranking up there.
What's
Gotta
up,
hear
man?
all this. That's 5 for 12, I believe. Actually, that's like 40% or something. It's fucking.
Hey, let me bring in a gentleman who you also see with me on the Geek Gauntlet podcast. He's here to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs too. Let me bring my man Ando in. Ando, what's up? How you doing, man?
What up? What up? I got two things to say before we get started. For Dan over there, if we're going to talk about the GOAT played for that team right there. The GOAT played for that team right there.
Thank you.
And I was going to wear.
That's an interesting argument.
I was going to wear this today, but like the refs, I'm going to throw a flag. What? Why? So I'm going to go classic WSU. I'm going to roll with this today. For all you Husky fans out there who saw me on Facebook wearing purple and gold, whatever, I only had to wear it once. So, yeah, I got some.
Before we get started, I just want to say this. And particularly for 7 and Anno, you guys can agree with me or not. But to me, Kadarius Toney should be cut.
No.
And I say that because no one is blaming him for this. Everybody wants to blame the ref. That man needs to suffer some type of accountability.
Okay. I'm going to let 7 talk first. I want to hear what 7 has to say.
Okay, here's the thing. We're going to dive into this now. Okay. So
let's do it. Let's get it, 7.
Let's go and get it out. Let's go and get this thing out the way.
When we look at what happened yesterday in the Chiefs-Bills game, two things are painfully clear to me looking at the reaction of the Kansas City Chiefs and my fellow fans. The first thing is champions don't make excuses, they get results.
This is true.
Secondly, if you don't want ticky-tack penalties called, don't fuck up in the first place.
True.
Yep.
Dan and Will, you guys can attest. After the Super Bowl, when people were bitching about the ticky-tack call at the end of the fucking game, I said, if you don't want a ticky-tack penalty called, don't fuck up. Did I?
Or don't put yourself in a position to fuck up.
And that's the thing. And here's my thing. But the entire wide receiving core for the Kansas City Chiefs is not what it should be. And that is because Brett fucking Veach does not know how to select offensive skill positions as accurately as he does defensive skill positions. And I'm going to say it like that. But the other issue is Matt Nagy was a fucking mistake. And I understand that the last time Matt Nagy was in Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes won an MVP and got a Super Bowl ring. I get that. But Chicago broke Matt Nagy.
Yep.
Chicago broke Matt Nagy. And I think if Clark Hunt,
Mitch Trubisky broke Matt Nagy. Mitchell Trubisky,
yes.
I think if Clark Hunt, Brett Veach, and Andy Reid are really fucking smart, they have already been in Eric Bieniemy's ear, like, hey, the head coaching job, if it's still not working, come home. We'll put it in your contract that when Andy retires, you get the job.
To Bieniemy?
To Bieniemy, absolutely. Because right now, there is not another OC candidate, and I'm going to say it like this, unless you can somehow lure Bill O'Brien out of fucking New England.
Good luck with that.
Bill O'Brien's getting ready to get New England.
When Bill Belichick leaves, New England is going to be Bill O'Brien's town.
What are you going to lure Bill O'Brien in? What other OC candidates do we have right now that can fill the void and get this team back on track?
Yep. I'm in agreement. I think Bieniemy is the only one.
I mean, unless you want to dig and search and try to find somebody new, but Matt Nagy doesn't have control of the offensive locker room right now. He doesn't. Now we could talk about the drop issues. MVS has had drop issues throughout his entire career. This is not a
Even with Green Bay, just to let y'all know. 2
big ones were against Philadelphia and Green Bay. He missed 2 open shots at the end of both of those games.
And he even had those issues with Green Bay. It's not just a Kansas City thing with him.
This is a recurring problem. Brett Veach signed him to a deal anyway. Okay, guess what? That goes back to Brett Veach. Kadarius Toney has been inconsistent the whole time. He'll have a game, and he'll have a game where you're like, "Who the fuck is that guy?"
So you just need to cut his ass.
Smiles, and it looks like there's a fucking piano in the front of his face.
That's why That's why I say you just need to cut his ass. Because
Sky Moore, you could say. I mean,
you don't. At this point, there's no point.
That's true. It is late in the season, so that's true.
But when you're looking in the next season, Kadarius Toney has to earn being a starter. Everyone else has to earn being a starter.
You got to go.
Every wide receiver draft pick you can, and see if they're going to be ready to go. You're going to be looking at every wide receiver on the free agent market. You need to find a new true wide receiver one. If that means trading for Justin Jefferson, fucking do it. If that means
getting Mike Evans, because Mike Evans is still a solid number one.
One other thing I'm going to throw out, and Chiefs fans are going to hate this, but I've got a plan for it. Guess what? We are in the last days of Travis Kelce. Whether it's this season or next season, we are in the last days of Travis Kelce. Trade for Kyle Pitts after the season. Trade for Kyle Pitts after the season, because Noah Gray knows the system. You can rely on Noah Gray, but they need a reliable second tight end. You can use Kyle Pitts and scheme him correctly. Kyle Pitts is a tight end where you have to have him scheme correctly. Andy Reid is a goat at that. So we need to fill that. But right now, we need to focus on the fact that these wide receivers are a fucking problem. Quit making excuses about the refs. This is bullshit. That's not what champions do.
No. But I'm in agreement. I'm in agreement with that, man. So my take on it is the consistency of the ref calls need to get better from game to game, because there was a call earlier today that was not called between the Dolphins and the Titans, where Jalen Waddle was in the same position that Kadarius Toney was in. They didn't call a flag on it. Somebody posted a picture of Von Miller the very next play after which Kadarius Toney got called on offsides for. They didn't call it. So consistently, I don't want my team to lose because of penalties. But if you're going to make a call one play and not make it the next, and you have evidence that it's there, that's BS, man. The referees need to be held accountable just as much as the players. I'm with 7. I don't want the game to be decided by the referees' decisions. But if in one game you got to worry about, hey, my foot's 2 inches over the line, my foot's 6 inches over the line, I'm good, okay? And then there's a flag called. Big bullshit call last year in a game between, New York and Washington, where Terry McLaurin got called for a play just like that. Double checked with the ref. Now, I've heard mixed reports about whether Toney checked with the ref if he was okay. And watching that,
he did not.
Watching it,
I don't think he did.
He did not.
Judging by where he was at, I don't see how he could have been. The referee should have been like,
there is no way he could not see that he was lining up.
This should not have.
Yeah,
that should not have happened.
But
That
guys,
should not have
happened.
that's my thing with Kadarius Toney.
Yeah.
The man has been the same player since he was with the Giants, and he's not going to get any better because nobody is holding him accountable for this bullshit that he does between drop passes, lining up off sides. He was clearly offside. Clearly, come on, man. At some point, you got to stop blaming the rest and look at the player. Kadarius is not going to get any better because people keep making excuses for this man.
Don't let it get down to the last play. Don't let it get down to the last 30 seconds and then be like, that one call was definitely what broke us. No, motherfucker, you're down a touchdown because you fucking lost the game. Like you lost it already. Like you
lost by football. And if you look at it, Kansas City had plenty of opportunities to pull that game away. Patrick Mahomes' interception on that first drive came at a really bad time when the Chiefs were moving down the field. They had other inopportune penalties, 7, and Will hit it on the head. When you're consistent at being inconsistent offensively, you allowed 20 points. Your defense did its job. It kept them under 20 points. And again, the Chiefs lost because offensively they can't get their shit together. And that's going to be the downfall this year with Kansas City. Offensively, they need a coach, not just Coach Reed, not just Nagy needs to get up off his ass and hold that offense accountable and be like, hey guys, we're fucking this up. We got to fix this. The defense is doing their job for a change. If this were any other year where the offense was putting up even 28 points a game, who knows where we would be as a team. But because the offense for once is not holding their own, this is going into a completely different ball that A, Kansas City hasn't been in a really long time, and B, the fans are so used to us being, we got point A to point B to point C, we're consistent, we're holding ourselves accountable. Now it's not there. Again, a coach needs to hold the team accountable. Reed needs to dig into his coaches' asses, and then the coaches need to dig into the players' asses.
And here's my thing too. Now you put Kansas City in a bad spot because now you could be you could be on the roll for the playoff for the first time.
So,
Patrick Mahomes never played a road playoff game besides the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Right.
And
That's
depending on how Kansas City plays the next couple games, Denver is right on their ass. Who would have thought that 5 weeks into the season that Denver would be on Kansas City's ass?
They're playing really well right now.
So
really well.
that's the basis. That's the basis of it for Chiefs fans. That's why it's the only reason why this is a big deal is because you guys see like your impending mediocrity as a team in the middle of this. And like, it's not just the penalty. It's like how the penalty happened against the Buffalo Bills, who you guys usually play in the playoffs, right? Like this is Kansas City's fan base feeling chinks in the armor and feeling a little bit vulnerable for the first time in what? Oh yeah, Patrick Mahomes' entire fucking career because he's been nails this entire fucking time. And now he doesn't have that good of an offense. That receiving core is Travis Kelce is fucking old. He is an older guy, okay? He doesn't do the same, like he's still really fucking good. They have that fucking connection, him and Mahomes, that's the thing. Like they have the connection or whatever, it's fine. But like they're gonna be fine. But like it's not transcendent plays from Travis Kelce any longer. And you have Kadarius Toney, obvious. So every time a fucking wide receiver, guys, walks out into the slot like that and is on the line of scrimmage, do you ever notice what they do every fucking time? They look to the sideline at a referee and go like this. I'm on, I'm off. They do it every fucking play. And Kadarius Toney, just for some reason, and I think, I have a theory that he did it because he was literally trying to get an extra step. I think that he was literally trying to get like a quick, like, oh, how's he on me so fast? Like the littlest of advantage to run that. I think he ran a slant route, right? When you run a slant, you just want to get out in front of somebody. You just want to get out in front of the linebacker as fast as you can. And I think he literally was like, instead of like, okay, hopefully they just let this go. Like, what a fucking dumbass.
No.
For real.
And
like, what a dumbass.
If you guys look at the still of that shot before the penalty was called or before the play was snapped, had they not have called offensive offsides, Taylor again was off the line. So they would have called illegal formation on the Chiefs.
Yes.
So that play would have been
screwed.
Yeah.
Also,
but again, it comes back to the discipline of the offense is not disciplined this year. Nobody's holding that offense accountable. It's been, we're super powered for so long. They got to get the discipline back. And with there being 4 games left, because I'm looking at the Chiefs schedule right now, they go to New England next week. I pray to God that they can get a win in Foxborough, because if they lose against that Belichick-led team, there are heads rolling. Then you got the Raiders at home Christmas Day. You have the Bengals at home New Year's Eve, and then you finish off against the Chargers, who they may not be fighting for anything, especially with Herbert being out. So the way I look at it, you theoretically should go 4-0 in those last 4, but with the way the offense is sputtering, you could go 2-2.
And with the way the Patriots are playing defense right now.
Yeah. Yep.
That's not a gimme.
Nope. And then the Denver Broncos have at the Detroit Lions next week. Then they have versus New England versus the Chargers. And then they go to Vegas to take on the Raiders. So minus that Lions game, everybody else they're playing is under 500. So it's very possible the Broncos go 3-1. If the Chiefs go 2-2 and the Broncos go 3-1, the Broncos get the division based off a tiebreaker and AFC records. That means Kansas City's playing at the 5.
Yep.
That's a wild card team, though. I feel like every game not Kansas City. Kansas City is a wild card team.
Yeah,
that's what I've seen play. Yeah, and the only reason they are is because of Patrick Mahomes. Patty's gonna make the fucking playoffs every goddamn year that he's in the fucking league because he's that fucking good that he looks like even when he's playing shitty, but he's gonna win 10 games.
Would this show more of Kansas City having an off year, or is Denver just pieced it all together to take the division?
I think Russell Wilson wasn't as bad as everybody thought he was. Yeah. I think that he's completely driven on the right situation. Like, it needs to be Russell's fucking situation. It needs to be Russell's fucking team with Russell's coaches and Russell's fucking everything. And he got it. Sean Payton is fucking perfect because Drew Brees was like that too, dude. Drew Brees was exactly like that. Am I wrong, Will?
No,
Drew Brees was the same. He needed that stability. He needed this is the guys that I work with every year, and they're all the same offense. And that's why he was fucking good. The only reason why he was good.
And that's another thing that really bothers me with Kansas City is their wide receiver turnover over the last 3 years has been ridiculous. They don't keep they get receivers for 1 or 2 years, and then
that's what Seven was saying. That's what Seven was saying. That's what he was saying.
That's Andy Reid taking an extra step into his genius and going, all right, well, if we can do it with running backs, we can do running back by committee, and we can just sign new running backs every year. We can do it with wide receivers. Andy, not the same position, not the same thing.
Can we say one thing? And I give Patrick Mahomes for being classy after that press conference because he brought up a good point. Even if that touchdown stood, it's not like there's a minute left and Josh Allen can't go out there and do some magic on his own. Yeah. So, I gotta give Patrick the props for being classy doing a loss. I gotta give him that.
Yeah. Here's the thing that bothers me.
Classy, Will?
He's classy. That was classy.
How is Patrick Mahomes classy? Did you see
what he
was doing on the sideline?
Also, the press conference was classy. I'm not talking about what he did on the field.
Where he acted like offensive offsides has never been called in the history of the NFL. That's what he acted like. It's been called 11 times this year. It got called two times all of last season, 2 times. And then one time 11 times.
Yep.
They're doing it consistently.
But what do we all say? What do we all say when it comes down to crunch time in these games? Don't let the refs decide it.
Yeah.
Don't put yourself in that position.
Yeah.
You shouldn't put yourself in that position.
Nope.
I agree that there is issues with officiating. And I will even give into the conspiracy theorists and say it has gotten a lot worse since sports betting became legal.
Hell yeah.
Agreed.
Hell yeah.
Agreed.
It's not conspiracy.
It's like Bill O'Brien screwed the Texans on purpose. There is a reason that officiating got worse since sports betting became legal.
Yeah.
But we can't rely on the officials to win games or to not call things that we don't want them to call.
Mm-hmm.
Because as I said in our group chat last night and on my Facebook this morning, Chiefs fans, if the shoe was on the other foot and we were the defensive team and the Bills were the offensive team and that happened, we would have wanted that call.
We definitely would have said Josh Allen's name yet, guys. I was going to fucking point that out earlier, and I got Eric Bieniemy out. I believe we talked about Terry McLaurin. I believe we talked – how many more guys? You want to fucking name some more random names we talked about before we talked about Josh Allen? The fucking beast on the other side. The beast on the other side of that game.
A decent game yesterday.
I do want to say one thing, too.
Decent game yesterday.
I do want to say one thing to back up Dan's point. To back up with that, I do want to say this one thing. Josh Allen got that win with Stephon Diggs doing absolutely nothing yesterday. Yeah. It is absolutely nothing yesterday, and they still won.
That's how Josh Allen wins games, guys. That's how he wins games. He fucking runs the ball. He's fucking huge and he's super athletic. And that's how he wins games. And he can, what are the playoffs like? Like that game yesterday? Those are playoff games. That's exactly how they're played. It's
Well,
in
that's
the
how
fucking
Buffalo
20s.
has to. Buffalo at this point is in the playoffs at this point. Every game that they play is essentially a playoff game moving forward. They're not taking the division this year. Miami's pretty much got that locked down. So every game for Buffalo at this point is a playoff game.
Yep.
Can we just give a shout out to the fucking NFL defensive coordinators? These guys are fucking freaks of nature, dude. Like you got dudes like Andy Reid scheming shit against you, and they just fucking shut it the fuck down all the time. They do it all the time. And that's also, let's give it a shout out to the fucking defenders in the NFL who get fucking shat on a lot. They just get shit on. That's it. Like, dude, just like sometimes people score fucking 60 points and shit. Like, DBs get beat every fucking play, get beat. Yep. And they still just like, these dudes are still out there just fucking trucking, bro. Like, just get, like, you get fucking killed all the time and you're still just out there fucking get it done. Like, also, props to those guys for real.
Also, another props go out to James Cook. We all have been trying to figure out what the hell is the Buffalo Bills running game. Other than Josh Allen, he showed up. Yeah, he only had 10 rushes for 58 yards.
As much as I want to say Kansas City lost that game, Buffalo came together for a common goal to win that game this week.
Buffalo won that game. Yeah.
Give Josh, put some respect on Josh Allen's name. You guys fucking sit here and shit on Josh Allen all the fucking time. I gotta fucking hear it. I'm gonna have to get my fucking helmet out and you guys are going to write him a fucking apology letter?
Let's go.
All right.
I'll take a helmet to helmet hit. Let's go.
It's because I think he's kind of cute, guys. I think he's kind of cute. Like Will. So Will's cute.
Silly Will.
Will's so much better on mute. He's so much fucking better on mute. Fucking mute. Mute him. There you go.
I'm so fucking great on mute.
I know. And then us three can talk more, and it's the fucking thing, you know.
But Diggs,
the women are here for you, Will.
But Diggs went back 4 catches for 24 yards. As long as it was 11, that's it. And
well, you can say that's the quarterback too.
No,
quarterback's not getting him the ball.
That
fucking Josh Allen.
Trent McDuffie was on Stephon Diggs yesterday like herpes on a fucking rock star. He was stuck. Like it was. That was one of the things that was very impressive. Kansas City's defense. This is one of the best defenses Kansas City's had in the history of its organization. Every Chiefs offensive player should have had to walk into the locker room yesterday and apologize to every defensive player for the fucking virtuoso that they put out on that fucking field for their offense to fuck up that game.
Yep.
That's why Mahomes was so pissed. He was pissed at the ref, but he was like kind of not pissed at the ref. I thought he was yelling the first time I saw it. Like when I originally saw it, I thought he was yelling at fucking the coordinator. I thought he was yelling at fucking Nagy. And I was like, yeah, Nagy sits in the box though, doesn't he? Nagy sits in the box though, doesn't he?
Yeah.
No, Nagy's on the field.
He does.
Nagy sits on the field.
It looks like he is yelling at Nagy, by the way. Like I think that's who it was.
That's who it
was. Clearly he's yelling at a ref. What's that?
At first is that he was yelling at Nagy because he was like, in the shot. And I was like, finally, somebody's fucking saying it. And then
like, why didn't fucking somebody tell Tony to fucking like, God damn it, Kadarius Tony? Did somebody fucking tell him? Like that's what it looked like. Looked like he was saying. Like somebody fucking tell him to not line up. Fucking
comes down to the discipline of the offense, man. Your teammates are out there. Your teammates should be looking out for your teammates as well as themselves. Somebody should have caught that.
I'm sorry. And you were saying we can't cut him down. That's true because the season is late.
Yeah.
He's not on my team next year. I'm just sorry. He's not on my team.
Yeah. Well, not next year.
The only receiver that I feel comfortable moving on with as a Kansas City fan is Rashad Rice. Yeah. That's it. Rice is the only one that I'm keeping at this point. Yeah. I personally like MVS, but these drops at the end of the game, especially the game against the Eagles, where he's streaking down the field, I get it. It's wet, but you practice in conditions for that reason. And then the drop that he had, granted, there was pass interference on that call that wasn't called, but you still got 2 hands on the ball. You should have caught it. So
I got 2 last things on this, guys. Kadarius Toney's career is going to end up like you bought Brandon Cooks on fucking Temu is what it's going to be. For real. That's what it's going to be.
He'll have a resurgence in the XFL and then make a 1-year comeback 6 years.
It is. they'll be like, yeah, we think he's like, I don't know, we think he's just dumb. We don't really like we didn't really get him to play football. Like,
Kadarius Toney had a 200-yard
he's really fast.
Kadarius Toney had a 200-yard performance in the XFL game and is signed by the Los Angeles Rams because heaven forbid Stenson Bennett thinks he could throw it to him.
Stetson Bennett and him have 2 route combinations. It's a
y'all remember, man. Yep. Y'all remember, man. He had issues in college, and now they're showing that ugly head in the NFL.
Other than going to Florida, he had issues in college.
I like Kadarius Toney as a guy. Like, he's a guy, but
I'm sure he's a cool dude. Like, we'd like to hang out with him, but that's
cool dude. But he got issues as a player.
But here's the thing. What the reason why for me this comes back to Matt Nagy, and this is what I'm going to close with. The reason why this comes back to Matt Nagy is you have Rashee Rice, who is in sync with Patrick Mahomes and is now to the point where he is like Kelsey and they can improvise together to make shit happen. But Patrick has had far more time working with MVS, Kadarius Toney, and Mecole Hardman before he got hurt.
Yep.
He was nowhere near that level of synchronicity. To me, that comes back to coaching. And that comes back to what they're doing in practice that is not allowing this cohesion to take place. Because at some point with this much time with these same guys, like, there hasn't been a lot of injury issues. Yeah, there's been a game where one of them was out. But that core has been there the whole fucking season.
Yeah.
There's something going on with the drive between just the concentration or, hey, Patrick will put it in a spot where I can catch it. Oh, man. I missed it. Maybe I'll get the next. It's just.
You guys think Juju would have made a difference if he would have stayed?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, obviously. I'm going to say.
Yeah.
I'll say yeah. I mean, because he's had that rapport with Patrick.
I think Mecole Hardman's a huge deal. I think Mecole Hardman injury was a fucking huge deal. I think Mecole Hardman makes like 2 or 3 plays in your guys' season that's like changes outcomes like that. Like I think that what I'm saying. He doesn't line up off sides.
Right.
And he's that deep threat on 3rd and 20, 3rd and 15, where I can get Hardman in the slot and I'll have him lined up to MVS. MVS will go down because he's a bigger, stronger receiver, and then I got Hardman right there in the middle of the field. Where if I throw it 10 yards, I know he's going to catch it and get the other 5.
If
the speed alone will make 6-point differences in a couple of games.
Here's my thing. If we have Juju Smith-Schuster this year, this is why I think that Juju would have made a difference. Sky Moore plays a lot less, so Sky Moore has more time to develop. Because Juju is out there instead of Sky Moore.
Sky Moore sounds like a porno name, by the way.
It does.
Drops the balls like he does.
Last year.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Sky Moore.
We're just running
don't drop your balls for me.
Even in the later part of the season last year, Juju had started to develop that connection with Patrick and was starting to make adjustments on the fly that Patrick would want him to make. That element. That element is so key for Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes needs players that are going to do what he wants them to do without him telling him. These other guys aren't retaining that information. They are not in sync with Patrick Mahomes. You need that will get in sync with Patrick Mahomes. Juju Smith will get in sync with Patrick Mahomes. He has done it. It's proven. Mecole Hardman make those plays because he can. He doesn't do it as consistently, but Mecole Hardman can get in sync with Patrick Mahomes. That's why I think Juju would have been a helper, not a hindrance on our offense.
You can also make the argument that Juju in Kansas City is a bona fide number 1. Like, after Travis is off the field,
right now,
the only guy really that we had, we had to worry about was Juju, right?
He ain't number 1 with the Patriots.
Who's worrying about Juju Smith-Schuster, by the way?
He ain't number 1 on the, and he's not number 1 on the Patriots. That's Demario Davis.
He's not number 1.
Demario Douglas. I'm sorry,
but right now, when you look at Kansas City's wide receivers, and I'm saying wide receivers outside of Rashee Rice because he's the rookie, he's not going to get that one. Who would you have as who's your number 1 right now? MVS? I would take the number 1 over MVS.
Yeah, I mean, if I had the option to put Juju and MVS on the field at the same time and put Rashee Rice in the slot, I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, I mean that's a less than mediocre fucking wide receiver core still.
At least, but you still run the threat with Juju. Last year when Juju was with Patrick, he was that he can catch the ball on any down situation.
He's a possession receiver. Yeah,
exactly.
Like you have enough possession guys. That's not the issue. Like that's not the issue.
The problem is
there's guys who can catch the fucking ball.
You asked if we would have been comfortable with Juju Smith this year. Like if we'd have retained Juju this year,
I would have totally asked that, but yes.
Sorry. Well, man upstairs. Sorry. But no, I mean
man upstairs.
Yeah, the man upstairs. Will ain't paying attention. He's my man upstairs. Praise be to Will.
Oh, Sky, we're gonna do some hamstring stretches. No, Tony, you
the wide receiving core, but it's better than what they have now. That's
oh god, yeah, no.
Tony, you're putting my last thing on this. You guys both kind of are right now. Like the way that you're like fucking kind of like you guys are scrambling for like information. You're like, I just want to figure out what's going on with the Chiefs, and I'm like, yeah, I get it. Like this is what's happening. You guys are understanding that like this is going to turn into an Aaron Rodgers carries the team situation, like fucking pretty quickly. Like, Will, you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Like this. Okay, you guys are so fucking starstruck by. I get it, dude. Patrick Mahomes. He's fucking talent-wise, probably seriously the greatest player that's ever touched a fucking NFL field. I would say just natural talent-wise, just the shit that he does. Who?
Since Brady.
Brady isn't.
Brady wasn't a talent guy. Brady wasn't even a talent guy. Brady was a fucking hard work mind situation.
Where Brady was still a better quarterback.
Yeah.
But Brady's what made Brady was his mentality and his
situation.
Yes.
In a situation.
Yes.
When he's talking about as far as a pure talent quarterback.
Yes.
Brady. Brady is not a pure talent quarterback.
Oh God, no.
No. Talent. Just fucking pure
you're talking
talent.
about that, it's Patrick Mahomes.
Yes. Yeah.
Straight. Yes. Okay. So that's. I forgot what I was talking about, guys. Sorry. Yeah. So you guys are like kind of freaking out about it, right? Because like you guys are seeing like that. Okay, he gets paid a lot of fucking money now, and I understand it's not even like fucking tops in the NFL, but like that is going to start taking chunks out of the salary cap.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys might be a little bit limited, and on like you'll have good rosters, but like you're gonna be a little bit limited as far as like being loaded, like unless you draft really well and shit like that, right?
Yeah.
So like, is Patrick Mahomes? I hope this doesn't end up this way, but like it seems like it's kind of fucking creeping that way. Is like, is he gonna have to fucking carry this team for the next 10 years? Like, is it literally just gonna be instances where he's in the playoffs, he's first round, they win the AFC, they win the AFC West or whatever, they win it, but it's like, fuck, he's had to carry us the whole goddamn time. Like, and it's just like, is it gonna wear on him? Because you guys are gonna put you already did, dude. You gave him the keys to the city, man. He has the keys. He owns half of Kansas City at this point. Like that's the guy. All right. Don't beat the shit out of him until he doesn't want to even play football anymore. And he'll go fucking pitch, bro. He'll do it. Don't push that man. He will go pitch.
He got $700 million. Patrick,
he probably wants to.
Let me bring up another question. Pacheco didn't play yesterday. Does Pacheco make a difference in this?
Absolutely.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
So PH sucks.
Second best offensive player on the fucking Chiefs. Sorry. Yes. Outside of Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce.
Outside of Mahomes and Kelce, Pacheco's the best thing Kansas City has going. With Rashee Rice
mentality.
With Rashee Rice being fourth. Pacheco is just angry. Like angry runs. Like that is
mentality.
But what Kyle Brandt does on Good Morning Football on Tuesday mornings, angry runs. No, that's Isaiah Pacheco and other guys that try to run like him. That's what that's called now. They just say angry runs for short.
Mentality. He just runs fucking hard. And like it is a lot about like the post, because there's dudes who run as hard as him, probably, but like up there, but like it's just like after the play, he's fucking barking, just fucking every single play is just you know what I'm saying? Like he's just so into it. Like that helps everything on the sideline, by the way. Like that dude is so fucking into it. It's impossible not for you to be 100% invested, because it's got to get a little bit like a days ago for a lot of those guys who, you know, I don't know. It'd be weird in an NFL locker room is all I'm saying. Like they just get paid a lot of money. Like they all got their own thing going on. Like it would be hard to keep a team together, especially when you have like Patrick Mahomes and then clearly everybody else in that fucking whole locker room, including Travis Kelce. And Travis Kelce's not even on the fucking same stratosphere as far as like how much they put Patrick Mahomes on a pedestal at this point.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? I mean,
okay, but before we move on, I mentioned
Tay might have got him up to that level.
I mentioned earlier
she can get me to any level that she wants.
You should trade for Kyle Pitts, and you made kind of a face. Why?
I did?
Yeah, when I was saying
earlier,
why wouldn't Kyle Pitts be a good piece to bring over because right now you get him cheap, and if
So-
you get the right scheme, he's going to fucking be one of the best receiving tight ends in the league, which is what Kelsey is that you're trying to replace. Why not?
Because I don't think that so I think that Travis Kelsey kind of obviously got lucky with the Patrick Mahomes situation where it was like, okay, Pat and him just fucking clicked. They were both young dudes. Like timing came together, right? I don't think you could just walk Kyle Pitts in there and have any sort of the same fucking communication, the off-brand plays that they run, the fucking, they're literally hot routing like on Madden in the middle of the play. I don't think you could just plug Kyle Pitts in and he could just be like fucking, like, I think that's a very special, weird thing that like would actually work better for a fucking wide receiver, honestly. It would.
Well, and I see what you're saying, but and of course I'm not. It's not reasonable to try and think that Kyle Pitts is going to would step into that role and the Kelsey role and start having 1,000-yard seasons just right up. No, that's
absolutely
not what's gonna happen. That's not what's going to happen. But
I think he would though, Tony. I think he would have 1,000-yard season, but like not, it would be like 1,020 yards, like very it's not impactful.
Right off thing. But what I'm saying is, you need somebody that can slide into that receiving tight end role because you've got your blocking tight end that can still catch the ball in Noah Gray. That's what he's good at. He is consistent at it. He is George Kittle on Wish, but
he said George
It's a
Kittle.
Limber. Oh God, no, he's not.
Discount George Kittle. Discount George
He's
Kittle.
He's Algie Crumpler from Timu, is what he is.
Damn, he don't wear Algie Crumpler.
Algie Crumpler was a good tight end.
Good blocking tight end for Atlanta.
Good and receiving.
That name
Dude was
years. Algie was
275 pounds. He was like a fucking glorified tall left tackle who caught the ball.
My argument is you're going to have a hard time unless you can try to get Mark Andrews from the Ravens at getting somebody that's going to be able to slide into that receiving tight end role that Kansas City can utilize effectively and get good results.
Why do you think that Travis Kelsey's done in like 2 years? I mean, he is 33, right? He's 33, right?
It's age.
He's dating.
I'm gonna.
I mean, it's a whole different level.
Wants to be closer to his girlfriend. He's getting sick of all of the stuff that's going on with all of this. I think it's coming.
I'm gonna say it like this. I'm with 7. I think Kansas City would be smart to pick up Pitts, but I think a lot of it is look at the situation that Pitt's in right now in Atlanta, where they have no consistency at quarterback, and their offense is absolutely atrocious. It may take a year and an off season for Pitts and Mahomes to get on that level that Travis and Patrick are on. But I think that'd be a fun connection. And then if you can get a solid number one, like a Mike Evans or who are some other receivers that are coming off in the offseason, I don't know why
you're throwing shade. I don't know why you're throwing shade at the Falcons, bro. It's like Patrick Mahomes, Rodgers, right? Favre, and then Desmond Ritter. Fucking like they're just, for me, they're 1, 2, 3, 4. Like I don't know if there's like maybe we fit Elway.
You have something. You're laced with something inside that.
Nobody thinks Desmond Ritter's any good except for
Desmond Ritter has a future on him, guys.
No one thinks Desmond Ritter is any good except for Erica.
Guys, I have a lot of Desmond Ritter rookie cards, and I need them to sell. So we can get this
like this or not.
Listen,
maybe
you
can
sell them all to Erica. She's the only person that thinks Desmond Ritter is any good.
I mean, I need Desmond Ritter to be good, guys.
To be fair, his team still has a chance to win the division.
Yes, they do. They do. And he threw for over 300 yards yesterday, so props to him.
I'll buy a shoebox full of them from you for $5 because when I roll joints, I like to have little cards to make.
Damn.
Yes. Hey, that coasters. That man signed a lot of fucking .30 autographs. All right, like I don't know if he probably isn't any good because he wasn't doing anything in the offseason besides signing fucking football cards. For real. This man put his fucking autograph on everything west of the Mississippi, and now they're not worth anything. Imagine that. You signed 80,000 of them.
Did you want real quick? I do want to give a quick update on the 2 games. I do want to give a quick update on the 2 games we got going before we move over to baseball and the Shohei Ohtani signing. We got Tennessee and Miami tied at 10, and we have the Green Bay Packers losing to the New York Giants 14-13. Man, Green Bay better not lose that game.
Are you sure it's 14-13 and not 21-13?
I got 14-13. I haven't refreshed in a minute.
Update it.
Guys, I'm gonna go through a list of shit.
Okay, 21-13.
I'm gonna go through a list of shit I'd rather do than watch that fucking stupid Giants Packers game. Like I would literally, there's like a list of shit.
Everything.
Yes.
Everything.
Bro,
I don't hate watching. I don't hate watching.
Go to the DMV.
Bro,
I don't the New York Football fucking Giants. Anything is better.
I don't understand how the hell who is he throwing the football to? I mean, I know Wandale Robinson. I know him. I know Jaden.
Nebraska, baby. Wandale Robinson, part of Nebraska.
He's throwing to a bunch of nobodies. And it's like, this is just ridiculous. Even Darius Slayton got a kick.
What really bothers me is the New York Giants are making Jordan Love look pedestrian. And look at the Chiefs last week, and they made Jordan Love look amazing.
And
big time.
One of the best defenses in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen Saquon's fucking thighs? I mean,
that's
what it's really worth. You want to see some fucking
daddy.
You got Tommy DeVito out here throwing touchdowns.
He-Man action figure
right now. 99 yards and got one touchdown. Throwing touchdowns.
I still think it's funny that Tommy DeVito lives with his mom. Oh, wait. Before we
heard that.
Hold on. We got to talk about this. Dan and I get to have some fun for a second. So there was a story that came out Thursday that in a team meeting in 2019,
fucking God, dude.
Sean McDermott used the 9/11 hijackers as
a God
for succeeding with team communication.
Yes, that's a true story, bro. He's my favorite coach ever now. He's my favorite coach ever.
Happened in 2019, broke on Thursday. McDermott, to his credit, immediately came out, had a press conference, was like, yeah, that was me. I realized not long after that was a bad idea.
Dude, it's fucking hilarious is what it is. Honestly, it's fucking hilarious. He's hilarious. He did it to be funny, and it's fucking
and it
fucking
brought the
funny,
team
dude.
together. That's the bad thing about it. It brought the team together.
Sorry, like Sean McDermott's a fucking good coach, bro. I'm just saying, like that's fucking hilarious, and obviously a funny guy. Like I want to hang out with Sean McDermott now. Like,
oh God,
Trey could hang out with Ken Dorsey. He's got time.
Yeah.
Fucking, man.
I have a feeling with you guys, Matt Nagy's about to fucking have some spare time. We can talk about fucking X's and O's a little bit.
Yeah.
That motherfucker's.
There's unless something drastically changes, I don't see how Matt Nagy has a job after this year.
They're just gonna go straight Texas 5A and just start putting for sale signs in his fucking house's yard.
Damn. He gonna pull a Jimbo Fisher.
Well,
he gonna pull a Jimbo
fucking like 30 of them.
Andy, I just got here. Why are you firing me?
You
suck. Get out of here.
Because motherfucker, you tried to be a fucking head coach. You're not a head coach anymore. You did shitty at that, remember?
You couldn't
brought you back to fucking
make
shut the fuck up and run the offense.
Mitchell Trubisky. If you can't make it work with Mitchell Trubisky, you can't make it work anymore.
You can't make it work with anyone. Yes. He has the most talent.
As we say that, Mitch Trubisky looks like absolute garbage against New England.
Trubisky goes 8 of 23.
Let's go ahead and get into the Shohei Ohtani situation with the 7th inning.
I want to be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain, I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints.
All right, let's go ahead and get into this, guys. 7, you have the floor.
Shohei Ohtani has signed a 10-year, $700 million deal with the Los Angeles Giants. He will actually be taking his pay each year. Check this out. His pay each year for the 10 years is $2
What, my hat? Yeah.
$80 million of the $700 million that Shohei will make over the course of this contract is deferred to be paid out at the end of his contract. The reason
how much again? Give me that number again.
680 million.
680 million of the 700 is deferred to the end of the deal.
Ooh, how much is fucking?
That's not Bobby Bonilla's crap right
now.
How
much is fucking East Bay or whatever the fuck paying this motherfucker? Is my question now.
It's New Balance.
New Balance. Jeez, the fucking bank.
and
God
so,
damn.
As a result of one of the benefits of the player doing a deferred deal is not only does it reduce the money that the tax team actually has to pay out, but it reduces the CBT impact for the competitive balance tax, basically the closest thing baseball has to a salary cap, from the $70 million a year to, because of the discount that they get, since most of it's deferred, $46 million a year.
Bro, they're so hang on, do that math real quick, just a rough estimate. Over 10 years, $22 million a year that they just saved is $222 million of that contract is right back in the fucking Dodgers' pocket, free and clear when they sign it. That's fucking brilliant. All of them are brilliant.
The deal was
brilliant.
Done. It's done. Here, I
don't
don't
think that's brilliant.
How the league and the Players Association aren't collectively going, oh hell no.
I don't think it's. I mean, I think they just
the 700 million is being deferred. That's insane.
But
it's like Bobby Bonilla. Bobby Bonilla. Nuke style.
That's what I just said. That's a Bobby Bonilla.
That's Bonilla Nuke style though. That's Nuke style though. Like that's just straight
Bobby
everything.
Bonilla.
Fucking.
Yep.
Yeah. No, that was not a Japan joke, by the way. Don't get me on that one. Don't at me on that one. But no, it's just like a way bigger version.
Yeah.
No, when you say that it's being deferred, I know that means that he's not going to get paid initially for that. At what point do they start paying that 680 that's been deferred?
At the end of his deal.
Contract.
So he's only getting paid $22 million over the course of the next 10 years.
Yes.
No,
he's getting
20. It's $2 million a year.
20 total. Yeah.
20 is total.
That's why I asked Andrew. That's why I said, how much is New Balance paying him? Because obviously he has other fucking
okay, I guess I don't understand baseball contracts because that it's one of the reasons why I hate basketball contracts because they backload the contracts. So when you say that it's deferred, it means over the 20 years or over the 10 years he gets $20 million a year.
No, $2 million.
No, $20 million total.
Okay, so he gets paid $2 million a year. What happens to the rest of that 680 million?
Sits there.
They're
in escrow more than likely.
Sitting there basically in escrow.
Then why sign the damn contract for $700 million? Why not just say, hey, you're going to get paid $2 million?
Future.
Yep.
Because he's going to live off of his endorsement money. And
okay, so what happens if he doesn't make it to the end of that contract? Do they just
don't matter?
Doesn't matter. You still got to pay it. Fully guaranteed.
$680 million at the end of that 10 years.
Guaranteed contract. You got to pay,
bro. When you sign, it's owed to you.
It's your money.
Yep.
Andrew's just realizing this. He's gonna have it. Like, let's give him a second. Let's just give him a second. This is how it's been for a while. That's why we yell about it all the time.
$1 million a year just to be the most obnoxious fucking fan. And can I get that just parlayed for the rest of my goddamn life?
When I told you Patrick Mahomes will go pitch, he'll do it.
And let's remember.
Shoot.
Let's remember.
You're the best player in baseball getting paid $2 million a year. And at the end of that 10 years, you still get $680 million.
Yeah. It's kind of 70.
And let's remember one thing.
It's kind of 70
injuries.
Oh my.
And let's remember one thing.
I am in the wrong business,
NFL. Let's remember one thing. Injuries in the NFL and NBA. These dudes in baseball, they can hurt a finger.
Yep.
And you out. You still got.
You want to see somebody pull the Dan Werner and fucking quit on a contract?
Yeah.
Shohei's about to quit on a contract, motherfucker. He's about to quit on the Dodgers are going to get 3 or 4 good years out of that motherfucker. He'll win a World Series, and when he wins World Series, it's over. Don't imagine him being around much.
Here's what's going to happen. Here's how Shohei's career progression is going to work. I guarantee you. Next year, because he's recovering from Tommy John surgery, he's just going to DH. So you won't see Shohei on the mound. Maybe September, into the postseason, you might see him close a little bit, depending on how his recovery is going.
If the Dodgers make it to the playoffs.
But realistically, you're not going to see Shohei pitch next year.
First round exit.
Season, you'll get starting pitcher Shohei and DH Shohei for the full year. Following that next year as well. And then the following year. So that's the first 4 years out of that 10-year deal that we've accounted for. After that, Shohei is going to be roughly 32, 33. Shohei is going to start going out of the bullpen and closing.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to get
H and a closer for the rest
25, 25 to 30 homers, 25 to 30 saves.
Yep.
Probably. For the remainder of that contract, which is fucking really cool still, because like it's still 2 players. That's kind of the kicker too. They don't have to sign another guy because they got a guy in the fucking bullpen or starting, and they got a guy on their offense. Like, so there's like an extra roster spot basically. He opens up a roster spot.
That's one of the things that you pay for when you buy Shohei Ohtani.
Yep. That was
You're
Dodgers got a fucking deal. They got a deal on this. Let's be honest, Tony.
but
They got a fucking deal. They paid him $700 million.
So at what point do the Dodgers put that on their payroll and be like, okay, cool, we got to pay taxes on the
They don't.
680 million?
In 2034, they will, and it'll be so fucking muddled in 87 different fucking accounts that don't have anything to do with Shohei Ohtani, and they'll rotate it back together and pay him all in a fucking lump sum.
I want to know how
oh
my God,
because we print money here in the United States. You didn't know that? Like, their fucking money is zeros and ones on the screen, so like it doesn't really matter. Like they'll just pay him fucking $680 million. Who cares?
The Dodgers. The Dodgers.
It's not real.
If the Dodgers get 2 World Series in the next decade, next decade, that just in that 10 years,
worth it.
They will have made that $700 million over at least twice.
That's what we should look up, Tony.
Advertising and everything else, I guarantee you, they will make it back.
How quickly are they going to make the $700 million back? Yeah.
1 World Series, they break even. 2 World Series, they have doubled their money.
Yep.
Guaranteed.
And that's not counting the seasons that fans are going to, for the next 10 years, every Dodger game is going to be a goddamn fucking event. It's going to be a fucking, like, the guy's one of the most famous guys on the planet at this point, for real. Yeah. Because he's not only famous in the United States, he's famous in Japan.
And that's not just Dodger home games. Like Shohei going to
everywhere.
New York is a Dodger.
Yeah, everywhere. No. Oh yeah. Let me ask y'all this. Let me ask you guys this. I still think this is like James Harden going to the Clippers. You didn't need James Harden for that team, for them to win.
It's marketing, man.
I always thought that the Dodgers didn't need this because you've had rosters that can get to the World Series on its own.
It's not for that, Will.
Listen, I know.
Here's the thing.
I know. But I'm just looking at it, and I'm just saying, what the hell, man? You're already you're stacked coming in.
I'm going to ask our resident Yankees fan a question. Dan, the Murderers Row lineup that the Yankees had, how many World Series?
Yeah. Murderers Row?
Yeah.
I think 2.
Let's say 2.
I think so. Well, if intact, if you go, it was all 4 of them.
Yeah.
Then they only played together for like 3 years. So I think they won probably 2, at least 2 or 3, maybe 3 of them.
Okay. So if you look at that Dodgers lineup before Shohei, you still had Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts.
Yeah.
There's
no, outside of those 2, there wasn't really anybody who's like transcendent. I mean, for a second you had Pujols, a shell of himself. But but I mean, if you go, Mookie, Freeman, Pujols, I guess, because if you had him in his prime though. Like I get what you're saying. Like that roster is fucking loaded, but then they had fucking Hall of Famers all over it. But like,
okay, hold on, I'm trying. Okay, so you had Mookie, Freeman, Will Smith. Okay,
the Men in Black guy,
Hernandez back, Max Muncy, Gavin Lux, Chris Taylor.
So the rosters you're thinking of, Tony. Okay, so just rewind. Rosters you're thinking of are Freeman, Machado, Trey Turner, fucking those ones. Like that was so 2020 or so when they won the World Series 2020. That was Trey Turner, Machado, Manny Machado, fucking dude. Those were the ones where it was like, holy shit.
The 21 roster was better than what they had in 22 and 23. So I will give you that.
Sure.
For absolutely 2021, that was a solid roster. But this is still the best.
Now it's broken.
Last year was the best lineup in baseball. This is now the perfect lineup in baseball. This is
the best. I hate to.
Go ahead.
The Braves were the best. The Braves were the best. The Braves were the best lineup in baseball last year. The Braves offensive lineup for sure, dude. They've scored the most runs by like a lot. They were the fucking best. They were the best lineup for sure. That's not even debatable. But like second best, yes, I'll give you the Dodgers for sure. Just because even the top of it.
There's the Dodgers didn't have an excuse before.
They did not.
Now they don't. Now they don't have.
The pitching was nasty.
It is even less of an excuse, and they've actually raised the standard for that organization.
Yep.
They actually need to exceed 105 wins next year
in the regular season, and then like that's over for them. Like that's like the end of the line. Because I don't think it's about winning titles, bro. I don't think any of this is about winning titles. I don't think Shohei's about winning titles. I don't think they just think because they paid this guy $700 million, he's going to come in and win, because obviously Angels had Mike Trout too. Didn't win much.
This is true.
Didn't win much. And like the Dodgers are way more loaded, obviously, but
Shohei and Mike Trout.
What's that?
But they also didn't have much around Shohei and Mike Trout.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah.
The most stacked team in baseball now.
For sure. It always kind of is, right? I mean,
right. But they literally, they have, because of the talent that is on this roster, they have put themselves in a position where they have no choice but to write out the fact that they have the highest expectations of any team.
Mm-hmm.
The talent that the Padres had last year, and everybody knew that the Padres situation where they were overpaying players, they had too much going on, was going to be a bad situation. That's not an expectation here. Everybody looks at this Dodgers and says, all right, do it. This is the MLB's version of a super team.
Yep.
Now, let me ask you guys this. Let me ask you guys this, too. I'm playing instigator here. I always thought it would have been better. And I know there was rumors about this. Of course, it didn't turn out to be true. But if Shohei would have went to the Cubs, what do you think? Because that was one of the rumors that were out there as well.
I think Craig Counsell has an aneurysm from realizing that he now has the most talented player in the history of baseball on his roster. And he walked away from the managing the Brewers,
yes,
managed the Cubs, and then walks into Shohei. Like, I'm pretty sure Craig Counsell would just have an aneurysm or a heart attack. That's what I think would happen. But I think the Cubs would have been a good organization to play with. It's a storied organization in baseball. The league could have still benefited from the Cubs, from the Yankees, from the Red Sox, even from the Giants, because they're bigger markets. They're more respected, on a league-wide basis. Except, the Yankees, fuck the Yankees. But as a whole, more respected. So it could have worked. The Yankees still made a solid move in signing in picking up Juan Soto in a trade, where they didn't really give up anything of substance. I thought that was fucking ridiculous. Cashman finally did something right. Kudos to him. I'm critical of Cashman most of the time, but he actually got something right, so I got to call it out. But the Dodgers now have zero. There is no reason they do not win 105 games and win every series in the postseason. And you're not going to win every game. Obviously, you're not going to win every game, but you should win. You should win.
Is there a threshold that the Dodgers look at the season as a failure if they don't hit that win total?
If they don't at least get 95 wins, this because of the division they're in, if they don't get 95 wins, they're probably
any chance they make the playoffs. They don't make the playoffs, actually.
Yeah. You don't make the playoffs with that roster that you got.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a definite failure. But I think but here's the problem with
failure.
With all of the talent that's in the National League, you're going to have to win at least 95 games to get into the playoffs unless you win your division.
For sure. So it's going to be tricky.
If the Dodgers either have to win their division, or they've got to have at least 95 wins, or they're not going to make playoffs.
Tony, listen to their 2020, just real quick. Listen to their 2020 like playoff run roster, because that's always when like they're really loaded is when the teams trade all their fucking prospects to get like established guys, and their rosters should just fucking stack to the max, right? Listen to this fucking lineup right here for the 2020 Dodgers. They won the World Series, obviously. They go Betts, Freeman, Corey Seager, Cody Bellinger. Yeah, dude. Fucking Jock Peterson.
Yep.
Alex Verdugo was on that team. Justin Turner, that's seventh. Matt Kemp. This roster is fucking like this. This is some other world shit. I think Chris Taylor batted ninth. Kike Hernandez, David Freese was on that roster. Plus young Muncy and Gavin Lux are on that fucking dude. They're absolutely fucking loaded to the gills.
Yeah, World Series.
Yeah.
And obviously, there's going to be a bunch of people that'll put an asterisk on that. Whatever.
Who's in the bubble though?
Yeah,
it's a bubble one.
Yeah.
All right, real quick, guys.
Speaking of bubble,
Real quick,
Bubble Tony.
real quick before we move on. Anybody else got anything else you want to add about Otani? Anybody else want to say?
No, I just want to say I hate the Mariners right now for the moves they're making. They're dumb.
When Stephen A. Smith said that he can't represent baseball because he doesn't speak English, he was right. God damn it! No, I'm just kidding. Stephen A.
Real quick,
checking in with the correct answer again. Look at that.
All right, real quick, I'm gonna go to a special edition of the Hardwood because I want Dan's opinion on LeBron's fifth ring. Let's go. All right, Dan, what you thinking,
LeBron Thanos James coming in with one for the pinky finger. He flicks and makes all things disappear.
Is the in-season tournament ring the ring pop ring, or is the bubble ring the ring pop ring? That's my question.
He snapped his fingers and half of his titles disappeared. See, look at that, guys. First time I've ever even talked ill about the guy. I'm just kidding. No, hey, here's the interesting thing about this stupid in-season tournament shit is like, it does bring competitors out. Okay,
it does.
Clearly, fucking Adam Silver is a fucking genius. Is what fucking Adam Silver is. He's the best commissioner in sports right now because he understands exactly what we're talking about with the football and the betting and shit. He understood this a long time ago that this is no longer just a sport. It's not going to be just a sport with people watching it like, oh, look at their pick and roll offense, how good that's going. Like, no, it's absolutely about the players. It's absolutely about the players in the games being outside stars as well. Like, it's just professional wrestling, dude. It's going to be fun, but with real outcomes and not fake. But I mean, wrestling's not fake.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Predicted outcomes. What we do is scripted.
Predicted outcomes. Yes.
Boop. But
go ask Charlotte Flair who got hurt the other night.
Surprise attack.
No.
Hey, why are you guys all muted? Hang on.
Go ahead.
I'm not muted.
Charlotte.
My fucking headphones just lost fucking battery.
Damn.
All because you were talking shit about LeBron.
Hey, and ask Charlotte Flair how fake wrestling is. She got hurt legitimately.
Yep. She and Kevin Owens are both hurt.
And Gene, to answer your question, why does the NBA need the in-season tournament? Exactly what Dan was saying. It brings out competitors. It makes the earlier season games matter. And that's exactly what it's about. You have these, previously, especially over the last, we'll say 5 years, earlier in the season, you were less likely to go to a game and see LeBron on the floor.
Or people would sit out because, it's early in the season. These games don't matter.
The games have less impact and stuff like that. But this in-season tournament added meaning to those games. And so as a result, more people are watching the games, more people are going to the games, more people are betting on the games. The reason for the in-season tournament is money, just like anything else in professional sports.
And don't forget, these guys got paid. They got paid $500,000 a game.
Yep.
That might not be a lot to all these superstars, but to some of these dudes at the end of benches, oh yeah.
I'll take $500,000.
Exactly. I'll wave the towel. I'm gonna play 3-4 minutes.
You know what the best job?
I want to play. Just give me at the end, and I'll be the cheerleader.
I'll be the towel. Yeah, go. Yeah.
Except not for Chicago. They went 0-4 in the tournament.
Can I just speak personal?
Kobe White, the only player they got doing anything right now, though.
I had the wired headphones ready to go.
There you go. Good backup.
I got prepared, and like Ando, maybe you should take note. Just saying, like I got prepared before the show, and I prepared what I was saying, what I was going to say, and everything. And I also had a pair of backup headphones because I'm that fucking professional. Ando, that's why you don't get to see the other people in the fucking thing on StreamYard. Because you're not at the level yet,
But I'm prepared. See, I have my
you're very prepared.
Headphones already. I have my microphone. I was prepared, man.
But if you're just showing up, what are you really doing, Ando?
I made sure I turned on my computer 30 minutes early so it had time to boot up.
There you go.
30 minutes early.
See, I'm learning.
I just
a lot of shit off the air.
I got my clipboard, right? My old school iPad here. iPad Air first generation, 16 gigabytes that I can't do shit with now.
Yeah, I was going to say, they won't let you update? They stopped updating those.
Yeah, they did. I can't update no more.
Really quick.
And then to make sure that I'm more prepared, I had my beef jerky this afternoon before I ate my Twinkie. I'm ready, man. Let's go.
Those are things that you think are preparing, not actual preparation.
Gene says, "Are we just giving someone a ring for free?" I'm getting with the money
Gene,
and shit, but not
fucking trying to pick fights with me from Canada. Really?
No, it's not Canada. It's Canada, eh?
Really quick, I figured out
maple syrup, Gene.
what it looks like. Did you guys ever watch that show, Hey Arnold?
Yep.
The guy that was always standing behind and Helga breathing the.
That's what Gene looks like?
No, that's what Ando looks like. That's the dude that Ando looks like.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, dude. You do look like a Nickelodeon character. Like a very like
a certain angle with the headphones, and his head just looked like perfectly fucking straight, and that popped into my head.
You look like a cartoon. You look like a cartoon writer had to fucking scribble something because he forgot his assignment from the day before. That's what you look like. He was like, "Yeah, no, glasses and it's there. There it goes."
Oh there my goodness! All right, you guys. Unless someone has anything,
I'm out of here. Fuck you.
Unless somebody got anything else to bring up, let's go around the room so that you guys got going on this week. Dan, we'll start with you. What you got going on this week?
You're going to start with me. We didn't even talk about LeBron's fifth ring. Like literally, I said like two things about it. And then we're going to talk about okay, that's my last thing then. It's not fucking LeBron's fifth ring. It's ridiculous. It's not. It's fucking stupid. But what I will tell you is like, do you ever notice that like he fucking like when it's only talent involved? The last game was in Las Vegas. So there's only talent involved. It's not home crowd. It's not home court. On an even playing field, the Los Angeles Lakers have proven in the last 3 years that they have the most talent, or they have the fucking best player to ever touch a fucking basketball floor, who just happens to be like, I kind of want this. Like I kind of want this in-season tournament for some reason. It's weird. The trophies are cool. Like LeBron likes trophies. Yeah,
he has a bunch of the runner-up trophies. I'm just saying.
He does. He does. Like, what's that? 12 now? Like it is 12 total. 7 of them are fucking. Yeah, 7 now are fucking.
He has as many runner-up trophies as Michael Jordan has first-place trophies.
Right, and now he's gotten 5 titles, which is. Will, if LeBron wins the title this year with that Lakers team, we have a conversation, don't we? An honest one? Because I've been having an honest conversation the whole time, and you just seem to not be having an honest conversation. So
no, we don't.
You don't have an honest conversation still.
No, we don't.
With his 5th title, at 39, he's going to be 39 years old. He carries the Lakers to a title.
Look at when he goes 6 for 6, which he won't. 6 MVPs. Never let a game go to game 7.
Nope.
A finals game go to game 7.
With Craig Egolo guarding him.
Come on now.
6'4", working out a fucking mill, Craig Egolo.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
Like,
that was the best.
It does matter.
That
was the best of his era.
Talent fucking matters.
That's the best of his era.
Nobody in the NBA like Victor Wembanyama. There was nobody in the NBA like Giannis Antetokounmpo. There was nobody in the NBA like Steph Curry. There was nobody in the NBA like LeBron James.
Dan, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. If they would have beat those Golden State teams, you got something to say. But they didn't.
I'm in agreement. Go 2-2
the
against
greatest team of all time.
2-2 against Golden State.
The greatest teams of all time.
Go 2-2 against Golden State.
17 through 19, Golden State is fucking the 3 greatest basically the 3 greatest basketball teams, or a combination of them that's ever. The Durant ones, they ran through playoffs, dude. They ran through the NBA playoffs at this point, which is hard to fucking do.
And again, you keep talking this competition, but when you go back and look at it, it's like a comic book battle. You look at feats for MJ. MJ was the best player on both sides of the court almost his whole career. Can you say that about LeBron?
Play against Yes, LeBron.
Can you say that about
LeBron is still the best player on the floor at 39.
The man was offensive player and defensive player of the year multiple times.
Go watch a 2012 Miami fucking Heat game. Go watch a 2012 Miami fucking Heat game and tell me that LeBron James did not fucking play.
And then he ever have a meltdown against the Dallas Mavericks?
He absolutely did. And also, Dirk Nowitzki was a fucking savage in that series.
When did Jordan have a meltdown?
Savage.
When did Jordan have a meltdown? When did Jordan have a meltdown in the
I'm
finals?
enjoying
He
this.
didn't have to against subpar fucking competition.
I said I'm enjoying this. Please keep at it.
He could have a flu game.
I'm just saying we don't have a conversation. We don't.
He could have a flu game. He could have a flu game. He could have a game where he literally was so sick he was throwing up and still beat people. that means you're not playing against fucking par competition. That's what it means. Sorry. Old Brian Russell, old fucking Brian Russell out there.
Did he not beat the best? But did he not beat the best teams in his era though?
He did.
That's my point. He beat the best teams. He beat the best teams in his era.
I guess it's all you can do. I mean,
you can't say that. You can't say that about Bron.
But we're not sitting here saying that.
You lost to the Dallas Mavericks, dude.
My argument, my dog in this fight, because I'm a Jordan fan and I like Jordan more than I like LeBron.
We've established
Jordan did what he did in less time than LeBron. Look at how long it took LeBron to beat like the scoring record. If Jordan had been playing, if Jordan had kept playing, if he'd have played in the 93, 94, 94, 95 season, the Bulls have 8 championships because they're going to beat those Rockets teams. They're not going to 7 games against the Rockets. And yes, while Hakeem was the best center in the 90s, proven by the 2 MVP trophies that he got that Patrick Ewing did not get, that Shaquille O'Neal did not get, that David Robinson did. Wait, David Robinson, I think,
was a rookie.
He got one. He got one.
So David Robinson got one. But had Jordan played all throughout the 90s, right? He didn't take those 2 years off. And then if he didn't retire after the 97, 98 season, I think you look at the Bulls as the greatest 11, 12-year stretch. Maybe they didn't win the first 2 titles against Detroit, but you saw the growing that Jordan had in those two finals. But you look at that. Go ahead.
Even if he wins 8 titles in the 90s, it's still not the greatest 10-year period in the history of the NBA, because in the 50s and 60s, for 12 years, the Boston Celtics won 11.
Agreed.
Russell won 11 of them. So that's still not, I mean, if you're going to go competition.
Your argument that I'm going to back up here is that the 90s basketball was a different era of basketball than it is in 2000s.
Yeah, I mean, of course it is.
But I still think if you can go even 7 out of 8 for championships in a decade, and the Bulls would have done that. The Bulls.
What does the percentage matter though? That's what I'm wondering about. So so if LeBron wins 7 titles and he goes to 15 fucking finals,
so your argument
you're kind of against him.
Your argument then is Tom Brady is better than Joe Montana because Tom Brady went to more Super Bowls and lost more than Joe did.
I think that's everybody's argument, isn't it?
Tom Brady's clearly a fucking better player than Joe Montana.
I think so too. I think so too.
I'm sorry, man. I'm going to back up with Joe Montana. He's 4 for 4 in Super Bowls, just like Jordan is
6 foot 1, 190-pound Joe Montana. Playing in the 70s and shit.
I give Joe his props though. He never threw a pick 6 in the Super Bowl like Tom Brady did.
It's not a great.
Neither did fucking.
But Joe Montana was.
Brady did. Brady did. I'm just saying. Brady did.
So that changes it. How though? He's still there. You know what I'm saying? Like that. He's there. Like So the beginning of that conversation, I just want to point out, just started with Ando fucking dogging LeBron James for taking too long to break the all-time scoring record. I'm going to say that again. Dogging LeBron James for taking too long to break the fucking scoring record, a record that took 24 seasons for one Lou Alcindor, a.k.a. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, to fucking break in the first place. 24 fucking years. And LeBron's out there still at 39 years old, still averaging 25, 8, and 8. That's the numbers on that are not even like those aren't even comparable. Go look at. I watched fucking. You know what I watched Jordan do in year 39 when he was with Wizards? I watched him stuff himself on the rim on a 2-hand dunk. I definitely watched that. I definitely fucking saw that shit. Is LeBron James ever going to do that? Nope, because he can still fucking move. So that's going fucking well for him. Like to say he's not the greatest basketball player of all time. The actual greatest basketball player of all time. The record thing or whatever, competition-wise, he's the best basketball player.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing that you fail to forget. The thing you fail to forget is the fact that sorry, I remember it. A lot of people, we saw Jordan do the thing. We saw him do the thing. He never had a meltdown in the finals.
You guys can accept change, I don't think.
Never. But again,
I will say this.
If you want to say he's like number 2, I got you. I'm right there with you. Second best of all time, I got you. He never. In my opinion, he'll never be one.
I will say this to Dan right on stream right now. Pound for pound, LeBron James is the best basketball player.
Thank you, Ando. That's all I really ask for.
But when it comes to situational basketball, if I need
for sure, and mentality,
Jordan is it, right?
I know I regularly
grew up in
admit
the 90s.
exactly what you're doing. I do the same thing with Jordan. I say exactly what you just said.
So-
I say he has the fucking mentality. He's the killer. He's the savage. He's the most savage player.
Yeah.
He fucking did it. He wanted to win. That was it.
I'm
I
not
get it.
taking anything away from LeBron because it takes a special mentality, a special maturity to do the same thing that you do for 29, 30, 31 years. And how long has LeBron been doing this? 21, 20, no, 24, right?
I mean,
2004. This is 20th season.
20th
So,
year.
I mean, yeah, I'm not, when you say dogging, yeah, I'm a Jordan baby. I will say Jordan is my favorite player of all time. But when it comes pound for basketball, the preparation, the getting my body into gear, I'm going to keep doing this because this is what I love. I'm saying LeBron.
But the natural talent, though, too. Like you saw a 6'9", 270-pound dude who could fucking had a 45-inch vertical and had, like just talent-wise, you have to go. I mean, you have to go LeBron as well.
I'm going to say it like this. I understand where you both are coming from. My opinion, if I have to pick one person, it's Jordan. But I will give LeBron his credit. That's what I'm going to say.
Number two to me.
I'm
I'm
not against LeBron, right? If you give me a 3-on-3 Pop Warner, whatever that park in New York is to play basketball, my 3 is going to be LeBron, Jordan, and Kobe. Those are my 3.
The next question that I ask is if you just have 1 year or you have like a 3 years period with all these guys in their prime and you get to the ultimate fantasy NFL NBA draft, you get every player the best they've ever been. So you get like 11 fucking or 12 LeBron when he's just a freak. He's a great passer. He knows the game already. He's got the IQ, everything. He literally was the MVP back to back. So you get back to back prime. You get 95, 96 Jordan, all those guys. You get them all as good as they ever were. Who are you taking number 1? There is not a fucking answer.
Okay.
There is not an answer other than LeBron James. In that question.
I'm going to ask it like this. Is it are we doing like a 7-game playoff series or are we doing a 7-game final series?
Plus, how you building
a whole 82 season?
Plus, how you building your team? How you building your team?
That's not. You're going too far into the question. It's a rhetorical. Like it's just who do you take to build your team around?
For me, Michael. I got to agree with Will. I got to do Michael at 1, and then I'm doing LeBron or Kobe at 2.
I'll take Bron at 2.
What I'm saying is Jordan's stuff was also like situationally affected, right? So he got into a situation with Phil Jackson and with a fucking really good team around him and a really good system, the triangle, which was Phil Jackson. And it's a lot like Tom Brady at that point is what it becomes. It becomes a lot of Tom Brady. And there's 6 titles even with the same team, which is a lot of Tom Brady.
So we blame it. So we're blaming Mike for having a better coaching situation.
No. I'm accrediting Mike for having the mindset. But I'm saying as an actual basketball player, Michael Jordan was not even fucking close to what LeBron James is. He wasn't even – there are guys in the NBA right now that have the talent that Michael Jordan had. They have the talent that Michael Jordan had. Do they have the fucking killer mentality? No. Do they have the savage? No. Are they going to will their team to wins like Jordan did? Nobody can ever do that. And I'm admitting that hands down. But I'm saying as a basketball player, if you're going to pick one on the fucking schoolyard, kind of like Andy was just making a reference to, you're picking fucking LeBron James to win your fucking basketball game. He's the best basketball player ever. Did he have the greatest career ever? No. Jordan had the greatest career ever. I get that part. Okay. But I'm saying like LeBron's a better basketball player. I don't even know how this is fucking debatable at this point. I really don't even get it.
But here's my thing, Dan. Here's my thing. And I want you with 7 and handle thing. Why are you having this discussion? Because when you look at it at the end of the day, these are 2 players that play 2 different positions. Who does LeBron? Who does LeBron compare more to? He doesn't compare to Mike. He compares to Magic. Exactly. Yeah. So that's where the comparison needs to lie. And then if you want to compare somebody to Michael, it should be Kobe.
I agree.
Way better than Magic.
Absolutely,
like steps above Magic Johnson.
Steps above Magic when you compare Michael Jordan, you should compare Kobe Bryant.
Yep. I'm in agreement with that.
Kobe just automatically did that. Kobe went ahead and did that for us. Yeah. He just literally made a copy of Michael Jordan.
Basically.
Yeah. And here's the thing. There's people that disagree with me, and I respect your choice. I would take Kobe over Michael.
Some people say, I got a buddy of mine who says that right now. And he will always take Kobe over Michael.
And here's why. And I'm going to explain myself. Kobe had the Kobe's mentality, that Mamba mentality, made a huge difference. And we are looking at Kobe completely differently if Shaq wasn't in LA when he started his career. We've all agreed on that multiple times, right? We've all agreed on that multiple times. Okay. Yeah. I'm taking Kobe because of the way that Kobe sees the game, handles the game, and shoots the ball. Michael Jordan never had an 82-point game.
No, 81.
81. He could have.
81. Michael Jordan never had an 81-point game. And that is with what? He had 15, 20 assists in that game too? If I remember.
I don't think Jordan even had 70.
Exactly.
Jordan ever scored 70.
He scored 69 against the Celtics in the playoffs.
That's career high.
Game.
Kobe still tried to distribute the ball in that game, but nobody else could make shots, so Kobe had to do it.
Yeah.
That's what nobody, everybody was talking about that game.
That's fair. That's fair.
I watched that game. I remember watching that game. That is the game where I became a huge Kobe Bryant fan. Kobe was trying to distribute the ball, but nobody else could make a goddamn shot.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I would take Kobe because for one game, you got that mentality. Kobe can beat anybody.
Yeah. But that's the thing with me, because why are we even having this LeBron? Because the rebounds aren't going to match up.
Assists aren't going to match up.
The rebounds won't match up because Jordan's a shooting guard. The rebounds won't match up. The assists won't match up because Jordan's a shooting guard. He's not bringing the ball up the floor. So again, there's some debates there that can be had. I don't even know why we're doing Kobe versus Michael, because again, two different players, two different positions, two different responsibilities. If you go back and look at those Bulls teams, who brought the ball up the floor? Scottie Pippen.
Yep.
He brought the ball up the floor.
There's a mix between Scottie and Scottie.
Player-wise, Scottie Pippen is the way better comparison to LeBron James.
You could say that,
but I can't sit there and say that Kobe, or I can't sit there and say Scottie was better than LeBron. I think if you put Scottie,
but we're not saying better, but more.
Nobody's even sniffing at that. I wouldn't think.
Yeah, more competitive as far as skill set.
Okay,
skills like how they played the game, they're definitely very similar. Yeah, but
Scottie was never the freight train LeBron's going to be. But
Pippen was basically one of the first point forwards. Like he was one of the guys that could handle the ball as a wing player. Like he guarded wings. He fucking.
In college, he played point guard and made the transition.
I'm sure he did as a younger guy too.
And go back to the 90-91 finals when they played the Lakers. Who guarded Magic?
Scottie Pippen always guarded the best player. I mean, not always, but like anybody who was bigger than a shooting guard. Because Michael did take most of the assignments on shooting guards to point guards who were better. Yeah. Like Michael didn't guard Stockton because that's kind of a weird matchup thing. Like they would let.
Stockton played more down in the post anyway, didn't he?
What's that?
Stockton was a point guard.
Stockton was straight pick and roll. Brought the ball up the floor, very traditional style. They had obviously Jeff Sloan or Sloan and all those guys.
Jerry Sloan.
Jerry Sloan. So it's very traditional, like in pick and roll with him and Malone, and like hilarious. Malone is actually a fucking really close to LeBron James comparison, body style wise. Like now,
but he wasn't as athletic.
He was
not. He fucking Malone was a freak, but like not as athletic, but like and also couldn't pass or shoot. Like
exactly.
Malone laid it up and dunked it. Like
he had that little. He did have that little set shot.
Yeah,
off the
like his jumper off the wing.
Yeah, he had a little set shot off the pick and roll
from 12 feet. But you ain't pulling up from 30 on a fadeaway. And then doing the silencer in Miami or whatever. But
and most of his dunks were stupid anyway.
Hey.
How was he dunking? Dan, how was he dunking? Dan, he was taking his head like this.
Who?
Karl Malone. He was taking like
this. It was the mailman. The mailman fucking like it's really just this. Like you just basically like power dunk it like with like one hand in your hand. It's super gay actually.
It's stupid.
I will admit, while we're talking about Karl Malone and John Stockton, looking back in history, because I really feel Stockton, maybe I'm not as big a fan of Malone, but I'm from Washington State, and I like that Stockton went to Gonzaga. If there was one point guard that I wish would have won an NBA title because of Michael's expense, it would have been John Stockton. And
you're not going to think that in like 10 years, Ando.
When
John Stockton shows up as like a cult leader.
But here's the thing, though.
He basically is already.
But here's the thing. If you take the personal out of it, and leave it to basketball, that man got records that will never be broken.
No. Between steals and assists,
Yeah.
Like if you take a look at the three guys that you can compare their point guard setups on, Jason Kidd, Steve Nash, and John Stockton all would have been perfect in the same era.
Mark Jackson was in that same kind of.
Yeah.
Mark Jackson did a lot of that
Mark.
stuff.
Yeah,
but like if all three of those guys would have played at the same time, like your point guard for the All-Star game is set for decades because all three of those guys played together. Because all three of those guys played right.
Hey, somebody just messaged me and said Ando is like Neil Goldman from Family Guy.
Damn.
Uriel.
We both had terrible head colds. The fucking son, though, the younger one.
Excuse me while I go put my sunscreen on so that my light doesn't give me a sunburn.
He looks like a super Jewy guy.
And I'm
All right, you guys. Let's go ahead.
First off, fuck your guy for saying that I look Jewish. My nose isn't that big, okay?
It was a girl.
Oh. Well, hello. I'm Ando. How are you? Nice to meet you.
Shoot your shot, Ando. Shoot your shot.
Why not, right?
All right, you guys. Let's go ahead and go
Tell
around
her
the
to
room.
DM me. No, I'm joking.
She said, fuck you.
All right.
Just
Time and place.
Next, she says, duck you.
Oh.
Then she says, duck you. She said, why not, LOL? Why not, LOL?
Oh.
I'm getting the old messages on my computer. Do you guys know anything about this? There's this crazy MSN. Have you guys heard about the MSN Messenger?
No.
We're just getting that in Nebraska.
Damn.
You just talk to people. Apparently, you can just like
know.
talk to people through the internet. Did you guys know that? Like on typing
Man,
stuff?
hey, seven. Dan just got AOL out there.
On typing stuff? Well, obviously, I had to use the old dial-up before I got on it. It was like, I'm getting 56 kilobytes a second. Is that good speed? Good speed, right?
Hey,
That's pretty good. That's
Hey.
pretty good.
Hey,
Out here in
everybody,
Nebraska.
you know why everybody got AOL because of them old AOL groups they used to have back in the day. You can just go to a group and
Messenger was part of
AIM
AOL.
messengers.
Yeah.
you can just talk shit.
Man, dude, I got a ton of boners on MSN Messenger, bro. Like there was some, because you could talk to chicks for free. You could get like we weren't even sending dick pics because you couldn't take them on the computer. There was nothing to like get a dick pic onto. Like you had to like floppy disk it. Hit that floppy disk, and there'd be like a floppy on a floppy disk, and that's a whole different thing. But like,
Take a picture.
You didn't never. That's true because you never had a webcam. That's true.
no pictures. You just got to. You got to. It was like a fucking romance novel. You just get to type out all your fucking shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Type it out.
Paint by color and hope you get it in the same message.
Right. And we're still like,
you had three of them you could choose from back in the day.
Yep.
Net Zero, AOL, or fucking CompuServe.
No, hey, sir, you better put some respect on Earthlink's name.
I forgot Earthlinks.
You better put some respect on Earthlink.
Netscape Navigator was my first ever Internet Explorer. Netscape Navigator, baby.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my god.
There was Safari's been around for like a while.
Yeah.
And like it's been a bunch of different versions. It's still on this thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so Safari's are ridiculous. I have that fucking shit. They just don't update it the whole way through. It's just still the same thing.
Yep.
It's like, oh.
Damn.
Safari is going into their 2.4 update, ladies and gentlemen. What? Chrome's on 28.6.
Yep.
We believe in being a classic Internet Explorer. That's why you stick with Safari.
Yes.
We
Like
give you the most classiest experience on the internet.
every web page looked like something off the dark web. It was like a page, like a description and a link and then a price behind it. That was the whole internet.
Safari.
Should I click on this? It says $14.99, and I don't have $14.99 in my wallet. I guess I'm not checking scores to the football game today.
Didn't put my card in. I didn't put my card in.
All right, you guys. Let's go ahead and real quick. Before we go, shoot. The Titans trying to make this a game. 27-21.
Oh, that
they got the
Packers
lead with
Titans
2 minutes
game?
left to go in the fourth.
Or it's a Dolphins Titans game. Wow. Here's the list of things I would rather do than watch either one of those football games.
Talk to Brandon about looking like Neil Goldman.
Yes, for sure. Definitely do this podcast and shit on Ando the whole time. Like that's one of the things I'd rather do than watch the fucking stupid ass Titans fucking bullshit fucking Titans game. Good God.
man.
With their wide receiver quarterback.
Yeah.
Like,
who the fuck puts mayonnaise in their goddamn coffee?
What?
Yeah, Will Levis, the quarterback for the Titans, puts mayo in his coffee.
Oh, hell no.
actually,
no.
you know what? Don't knock it before you try it.
I ain't messing with that
No.
thing. All right, you guys. Let's
Gary.
go around the room real quick. Let's go ahead and finish up the show. Let me start with Dan. Dan, what you doing this week, man?
Just hanging out, man. Dude. Just be hanging out on the farm, farming, doing some farming stuff. No, feeding the cows. I feed the cows every morning, and I do. See, you think I'm joking, dude? I'm fucking totally serious right now.
For real?
Absolutely, yeah. I work on the farm.
Damn.
Yeah, like this is a real thing. I'm doing the Nebraska thing,
There you go.
Everybody does. It's fantastic.
The cornfields.
Nothing other than next week I'll be on the same show at the same time. Actually, Tony and I need to do a fucking after dark on a Thursday at 9 Eastern or 10 Eastern, 9 Central. We need to do one about fucking how betting is going to affect games, especially in the NFL, because it already has. And like, dude, it's going to be straight. Hey, Will, just saying, like in 2011, do you know who one of the referees for the fucking Mavericks series was also? Do you know? And 2007, actually, he was too, when the Mavericks lost to the Miami Heat, when Dwayne Wade got every fucking foul call. Literally, every foul call that he ever wanted, it was like a soccer game out there. Like literally yellow cards for touching this motherfucker. And that was Tim Donahue, who spent time in a federal penitentiary for
I remember Tim with this crooked
after
playing
the shit
ass.
that he did with the Lakers and Kings in 2002.
How big the favorites were LeBron and the Heat in that 2011 series? Pretty big favorites. Would you have made a little bit of money if you maybe would have bet for the Dallas Mavericks and then ref a couple of the games? Just saying.
Yeah.
There's number 5 right there for you, actually. Just saying.
You got a point.
Yeah.
You got a point on that.
Anyway.
Because he was crooked as hell. Crooked as hell.
Could have been 2 for Dirk, too. Could have been Dirk's first one could have been 2007, because that's who the Mavs played.
Mm-hmm.
Best team in the league, MVP Dirk in the finals. And they just got fucking old Shaq. You had cheeseburger, old cheese coney Shaq out there fucking just
don't be knocking my shakaroni pizza.
His sweat smelled like barbecue. It just smelled like fucking brisket.
My Papa John franchise, Dan. Don't be talking about my Papa John franchise.
Don't be making fun of me. All right.
He had a foot out the door already into like the general insurance. Like the general insurance was already knocking at the door. So he's not concentrating on anything he's doing.
If you're going to talk about knocking at the door, you got to knock real loud, because you're
fucking around my boy, Dan. You're fucking around my boy. Don't let me get Charles on your ass.
The Diesel.
Don't let me get Charles on your ass. I'll get him.
I was eating a lot of cold cuts.
Get him. You know the dude, real quick. You know the dude who pissed me off in the NBA more than anybody else was old punk ass Eldon Campbell. You know what he pissed me off? Other times I can't play with Shaq.
What the fuck are you talking about? We don't need you to play with Shaq. Move on, Eldon.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Every time he couldn't play with
somewhere
Shaq.
else, then?
Get your ass on.
You
go
gravitationally rotate around Shaq, and you get the fuck out of his way when he's going to the basket, and shut the fuck up. How about that? And
nobody gets in Shaq's way when he goes to the basket.
Shaq made life easier for almost everybody when he was on the floor.
It's like Birdman Anderson telling, like, I don't know if I can be on the same floor with LeBron. I don't know if I can do it. I will. He doesn't work with me well. All right, in my pick and roll.
Dan, I will gladly be on the same team as LeBron James. Here you go, take it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Hey, and I'll just stand out here. I'll just stand out here where I can shoot from one spot for 3, and you just pass to me when you want to. Just when you want to. I'll hit one.
Yeah.
Just when you feel like it.
I'll hit a wide open 3.
But that's the thing that pissed me off with Eldon Campbell. I can't play with Shaq. He on my way. Man, get the hell out. And that's exactly what he did. They got him the hell out of there.
Yep. Drop step in Eldon. Old drop step in Eldon. Using the Kevin McHale move. The last guy to use the Kevin McHale move in the NBA. Just fucking drop step. Drop step. That doesn't work anymore, guys. It doesn't work.
Nope.
I tried it.
Nope. He tried.
Try and do that on Victor Wembanyama and see how fucking fast that ball comes back in your face. It'll literally be right there.
You're going to have the basketball as your face.
It'll be immediate. He'll just take it from you. He'll literally just grab it and take it.
Doc, what happened to Ando down there? He laid up against Victor and
I'm going to take the ball from him.
Yeah.
Drop step, Kevin McHale move.
Yep. No, the thing with Kevin, though, he also made sure you got the elbow, too.
Or was that Bill Lambier?
Both.
Bill was pretty deadly with those elbows.
How does Shannon Sharp say it? Both. B-O-A-M. Both. Both.
I think, yeah. Both.
Sharp with the goat mask out.
Yeah, I saw that.
By the way, if you guys ever watch a middle school basketball game, like any of them, girls or boys, it's literally like it's more like ultimate frisbee than it is basketball, because they can only take 2 dribbles before they have to pick the ball up. So like literally they can only take 2 dribbles before they pick the ball up. So like it's literally like they get like 10 seconds at half court and shit. It's fucking actually very entertaining and fantastic. You should watch it sometimes because it's hilarious. They just can't they don't dribble more than 2 times. Fantastic stuff. Maybe it's just in Nebraska. I'm sure there's sixth graders in
Might be
like
in Nebraska.
you know,
This Nebraska,
California. Like we're not like we don't emphasize basketball as much around here. You know, a lot of white people for one.
Yeah.
So like
you guys, Nebraska's more known for wrestling and volleyball anyway.
Well, at this point, for sure.
Yeah.
At this point, for sure. And then being like the Dallas Cowboys of college football.
Definitely not football.
We just live in the past, and we are. Like, we live in the past, and we just like talk about like when it was 95, like when it was 1995, and Troy was.
When Tom Osborne was your coach, remember the days back in '95?
Well, when Tommy Frazier was around, all right.
Our national championship against Miami, those were great days, man.
We had great lines, right? Ran for a lot of yards, ran the option.
Those great rivalries Nebraska had with Notre Dame
and Oklahoma. Can't forget the fights with Oklahoma we used to have now.
The old rivalry down with the old OU Sooners.
Yeah.
The old Sooners.
OU and NU were great rivalries. Too bad they don't play no more.
Here, man. We can't talk about OU without Erica being here, man.
Hey, bet my left nut before the show started that fucking Erica wouldn't show up. If I was a betting man, still keeping that nut.
You would have been Tom Donahue.
Keeping that nut because I knew I was going to keep that nut. No, I bet old Tommy made a fucking bit of a coin off those motherfuckers. Like he was calling over unders and shit and keeping it under or getting it over, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah. All right, Ando, what you got going on this week, my friend?
Well, I am officially recovering for being called a Jew on the show by Neil Goldman. So I am officially recovering from that.
Why is being called a Jew a bad thing?
I don't. You see, if you would have said Peter Griffin, I'd have been okay with that.
And
someone called me a Jew on the show. You called me Neil Goldman. That's like calling me Kyle Brodlowski, okay? See, call me Kyle too, all right? From South Park. I'm big.
Yes. But you look like more like Neil Goldman.
No, there's too much beef, and it gives my intestinal lines gas, and then I have to go to the bathroom. See, if you're gonna call me a Jew, call me that Jew. Call me Kyle.
I mean, that was your actual voice though off the show, though, right? What you were talking with.
This is my normal voice. All right.
More like Shelly is what I just got commented on. Shelly from South Park. Shelly with your braces.
Seven.
I'm gonna. You and I. This is why I like you being on the show.
Not me saying it.
Let me pivot to 7. 7, what you got going on this week, man, before we get in trouble?
Most recent episode of First Generation Dad is live. You can catch it on all platforms. I did put a comment in the YouTube chat with a link to the episode if you want to check that out. Unfortunately, for some reason, I can't type anything in StreamYard right now, so I won't go out to the others. But it's on the YouTube. Just go find the episode on YouTube, and it's in the comments talking to your kids about dating. Definitely some interesting things we could talk about there. Yes, Dan and I will be working on an After Dark episode on sports betting and the impact it's having on the game.
But first, we're going to do the exact same topic he just did on First Generation's Dads, but a different spin, if you know what I mean. It's going to be talking to your kids about dating, except for
get in trouble. We're gonna get banned. We're gonna get banned off FCC airwaves.
Nobody.
We'll just rename the show. Will, okay? Let's rename the show.
They don't work. Nobody wears condoms. Will, it's not working. There's still skin-to-skin contact there. All right. Fucking idiots! Like, what are you just putting the part with the condom on in? Is that what you're doing? Because then you're not actually doing it. You fucking idiot! Jesus! Like, just maybe don't be. You know what I'm saying? Like,
if I put the condom around my boss, she can't get pregnant.
Young males, don't fuck everything that you want to fuck.
The easiest way to avoid getting pregnant: take a plastic grocery bag. Okay, before you start having sex, put it on your head, tie a knot.
Yes.
Super tight right under your chin. As long as that plastic bag is on your head, you will not get somebody pregnant.
Or if you're having sex in a car, Tony, you just run that car in the garage with the door shut. That's the best way to not get. Yeah, like while you're doing it, you just run the car with the door shut.
Yeah,
and that's the best way to not for neither one of you to ever have a kid again. You won't. I swear, it won't happen.
And on that note, before we get in deeper trouble, on that note.
Too late.
I want to say thank you to everybody coming out to the Sports Report podcast tonight. We'll be back next week, same bad time, same bad channel.
Hey, to all of our teams out there.
For myself, 7, Dan, Ando. We'll see you guys again next week. Y'all have a great week. Take care.
Later.
Everything's moldable. They're
Damn
all
it,
moldable
Dan,
teenagers.
you're gonna get us in more trouble than anybody.
Condoms don't work. They don't.
Damn, man.
Still touching skin, man.